She looked him in the eyes and said, "I love you." Not casually, not playfully, the kind of "I love you" that makes a man start planning a future in his head. Marriage, children, a home. And Daniel believed her, not because he was naive, but because everything she did felt real. She held his hand like she meant it, rested her head on his shoulder like she belonged there, spoke about forever like she had already chosen it. But while Daniel was building a life around her, Nadia was keeping him on hold, not to lose him, just not to choose him yet, because deep down, she believed something dangerous. A good man will always be there. Daniel wasn't flashy. He didn't speak in smooth, practiced lines, didn't wear money on his body, didn't know how to impress a room. But he had something most people don't recognize until it's gone. Peace. He was the man you call at midnight, and he answers. The man who remembers what hurts you without you repeating it. The man who sacrifices quietly. When Nadia lost her job, he paid her rent. When her mother was in the hospital, he stayed longer than family. When she cried over problems she created, he still listened like they mattered. He loved her with patience most people only understand after they lose it. And Nadia knew. That's what makes this worse. Because she didn't lose him by accident. She kept him close. Close enough to help. Close enough to comfort. Close enough to believe. But never close enough to be chosen. Then Marcus entered her life. And everything changed fast. Marcus didn't walk into rooms. He took them over. Confident. Sharp. Unpredictable. He smelled expensive. Spoke like he had options. Moved like the world had never told him no. And when he looked at Nadia, it wasn't safe. It was exciting. Within days, gifts started arriving. Within weeks, promises followed. Trips, cars, connections. Daniel offered something slow, something real. Marcus offered something fast, something addictive. And for someone chasing feeling, peace can look like boredom. People warned her. Her sister pulled her aside. That man is not stable. Her mother said quietly, Daniel may be simple, but he is safe. Even her closest friend whispered, he likes attention too much. But when someone is already emotionally invested in a fantasy, truth sounds like jealousy. Nadia smiled. You don't understand chemistry. No, they understood character. She didn't. Weeks later, Daniel stood outside her house, nervous, holding flowers, and something heavier in his pocket. A ring. Every note he saved had cost him something. Every plan he made carried intention. He wasn't there to impress her. He was there to choose her. He knocked. She came outside and closed the door behind her. That was the first sign. Her eyes were different, colder. Daniel, we need to stop this. He blinked. Stop what? This. The word hit harder than it sounded. What changed? She exhaled, impatient. You're kind. But kindness is not enough. That sentence stayed in his chest. I thought you loved me. She looked away. I thought I did too. Then a car horn cut through the moment. Daniel turned slowly. Marcus, sitting in a polished car, smiling. Nadia walked past Daniel. Not quickly, not hesitantly, just decided. The flowers slipped from his hand. He didn't chase her, didn't beg, didn't raise his voice. He just stood there. As the life he was about to build drove away. But here's the part most people never see. 2 weeks later, Nadia called him, late at night, crying, confused. For a moment, Daniel almost went back. He sat on the edge of his bed, phone in his hand, remembering everything. Then something inside him shifted. Not anger, clarity. And for the first time, he chose himself. He didn't answer. That decision changed both of their lives forever. First, Nadia felt like she had won. Luxury restaurants, late-night drives, perfect photos. Online, people envied her. She posted about passion, about choosing what feels right. She laughed louder, dressed brighter, looked happier. But some happiness is borrowed. And borrowed things always come with a cost. Marcus became harder to reach, then easier to anger, then impossible to trust. He flirted openly, disappeared without explanation, returned with excuses that didn't make sense. When she questioned him, he smiled. "You think too much." Then everything started collapsing. She got pregnant. Her hands were shaking when she told him. He didn't smile. He frowned. Not now. That moment should have told her everything. But when someone has already invested too much emotionally, they don't walk away. They negotiate. She cried. He pressured. He threatened to leave. And eventually, she agreed. Afterward, something inside her went quiet. Then it happened again. And again. And again. For times. For futures. Erased. For parts of her. She never got back. Each time she told herself, this is the last time. Each time she believed, things will get better. But some people don't change. They just reveal themselves. Slowly. Years later, she sat in a silent white room. A doctor across from her. Voice calm, but heavy. There has been damage. Her lips trembled. What does that mean? A pause. It may be very difficult, possibly impossible, to carry a child. And just like that, everything she thought she still had time for was gone. When she told Marcus, he didn't react. Weeks later, he brought another woman home. Not secretly, openly. The woman laughed in her space, sat on her sofa, used her things. Marcus walked around like none of it mattered. When she broke down, he looked at her, almost bored. You were exciting once, he said. Now you're just problems. That was the moment the illusion died. Not slowly, completely. Soon after, he threw her out. No apology. No guilt. No hesitation. Just done. She moved into a small room where silence felt louder than noise. And for the first time in years, there was no distraction, no excitement, no illusion, just memory. At night, she thought about Daniel. The way he listened, the way he waited, the way he loved, without games. She once called it ordinary. Now, felt priceless. Months later, she saw him again, standing outside a home. Different now, stronger, calmer, peace. A woman stepped outside, kissed his cheek. 2 children ran into his arms. Daddy! He laughed. The kind of laugh that only comes from a life built right. Then he saw her. Time paused. For a second, she thought, maybe he would look at her differently. Maybe there was still something left. But Daniel just nodded politely. No anger, no regret, no invitation. Then he turned, back to the life she once had in her hands. And that hurt more than rejection ever could. She walked away slowly and cried until her chest ached. Not because she lost Marcus, but because she finally understood what she lost before him. A good man loved her, honestly, and she mistook peace for weakness. Some consequences don't shout. They stay, quietly, as memories that never stop speaking. So tell me, was Nadia a victim of Marcus or of her own choices?